All right, hi, my name is Dan Payton with Easy Homes, and we're here to show you today how to quickly winterize a home. And we're going to do step one right now, which is get underneath the home and turn off the cold water shut-off. And so here we go. Reach in there and tighten it up real good so we don't have any water coming through the system at all. And that's how simple it is. All right, step two of the winterization process is to, next we're going to drain the hot water tank. Before we drain it, obviously we need to turn off the gas to it. This is a gas hot water tank. Before we certainly want to turn that gas off before we start draining it. So we've done that down here at the shut-off, the gas shut-off. We've turned off the gas. And now we're going to hook a hose up to the drain valve on the hot water tank and get ready to drain it. If it's an electric hot water tank, we would certainly want to go to the electrical panel and turn off the breaker that feeds that hot water tank before we start to drain it. Obviously we want to run the hose out to an outside door so that we can drain the water outside so that we don't get any on the inside of the house. All right, now that we've hooked up our hose to the hot water tank, we're ready to open the valve and start draining the water. So we've got it open all the way now. And to help the water flow more freely, we're going to also open up the pressure relief valve as well, which is usually up on the top of your hot water tank. There we go. That'll help the water flow faster. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is hook up the air compressor to the water valves that feed the washing machine. And we do that, and this is where we're going to put pressure into the system and blow out the water lines throughout the house. So we're going to connect this up after I've already disconnected the hoses to the washing machine. All right, so now we're going to turn on our air compressor, open up the valve, and go check our faucets. All right, now that we've blown out the hot side of the water system, now we're going to attach our air compressor to the cold side and do this very same thing, but we want to make sure we close the valve on the hot side so we don't blow any water out through that way. All right, after we have finished draining the hot water tank and blown all the lines, the next step is we're going to go and we're going to put some antifreeze in all the sink traps. And the other thing we want to do is we want to shut off the faucets in these sinks, and just in case somebody accidentally turns the water back on. So I'm going to pour a little bit of, about a cup or so of antifreeze, RV antifreeze into the sink, which puts some antifreeze in the trap, and that prevents it from freezing up. We also want to pour a little antifreeze in the showers, so those traps fill up with antifreeze, and the same with the tubs as well. Doesn't take much, just a cup or two will prevent that from freezing. All right, another step in winterizing home is winterizing the toilets, obviously. So the first thing we want to do is flush the toilet, make sure the toilet tank is completely empty. And then we're going to pour some antifreeze into the tank, and we're going to pour some into the flush valve as well. And when we do that, we're actually pushing RV antifreeze into the bowl of the toilet as well. So that sort of puts RV antifreeze through the plumbing system of the toilet. And there are two approaches to flushing the toilet with RV antifreeze. And the first approach is using the bucket. We're going to put about a gallon or so of RV antifreeze into the bucket. And now we're going to simply flush it into the toilet bowl with as much pressure as we can. And by doing so, we've just pushed RV antifreeze down through the trap of the toilet. The other approach is we can basically take about a half full gallon of RV antifreeze, and we're just going to sort of jam it down into the toilet bowl and squeeze it real hard. And then when we do that, that's going to push RV antifreeze down through the system. And that has pushed RV antifreeze into the trap of the toilet and properly winterizes it. And it basically conserves the RV antifreeze. It's a little more messy this way, but it's an effective way of doing it. We also want to make sure we winterize appliances that have water in them. So a washing machine, for example, would need to have some RV antifreeze poured into it, maybe half a gallon or so. And then you would want to run the washer on a rinse cycle so that it has a chance to drain and push that RV antifreeze through the system, and then do a drain, and that'll help protect the plumbing of the washing machine. All right, another appliance that needs to be properly winterized is a dishwasher. And again, we would want to pour about a half a gallon or so into the dishwasher, and then we would want to run a rinse cycle, and that'll allow the dishwasher to run, push RV antifreeze through the plumbing, and then discharge it on a rinse cycle. If there's a refrigerator that needs to be winterized that has an ice maker or a water dispenser attached to it, what we want to do is disconnect the water line on the back of the refrigerator, and let that water run out of that line, and make sure we've sort of pushed as much of that water out as we can to help protect that. And if there's a filter in the refrigerator, which many refrigerators have, you want to remove that filter and keep it in a warm place, not left in that home, so that it doesn't freeze up and crack.